Hi, my name is Ladina Wilson, and this is my district, community, and agency strategic plan for Monticello High School. The Monticello High School created or conducted rather a SWOT analysis, which is a framework for identifying and analyzing an organization's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The SWOT analysis are used for improvement in organizations and for solving a problem. The strengths identified at Monticello High School are increased attendance scores. Most, if not all, MHS teachers accept all students regardless of race and or ability level. Highly qualified and professional staff of teachers. Monticello School District has a significant social media following and supporters, and they have strong community ties. They have strong community ties for supporting the school district. The weaknesses of Monticello High School. Although MHS teachers are accepting of all students, most do not make conscious effort to incorporate activities that address diverse backgrounds. We have low math and reading scores. Another weakness is inadequate representation of diverse race, gender, ethnicity among teachers, especially Black male role models. And the class load is heavy for students and teachers. A new period was implemented last year called WIN. The opportunities that Monticello High School has. RTI for students who are deficient in the areas of math and reading. Implementation of programs such as the Apex tutorial that gives students more reteaching opportunities for concepts. Collective decision making involving students and teachers when decisions are affecting students and teachers so that students and teachers have ownership of their decisions. Organize and implement a community day to highlight multicultural awareness and diversity with our school and community. And MHS teachers are allowed to create their own lessons. And the last opportunity is Monticello High School can receive professional development to address biases and implement strategies to construct culturally responsive teaching. The threats of Monticello High School: ineffective planning, burnout for students and teachers because of class load, limited communication between parents and school, and Monticello High School teachers are limited in the amount of time they must create activities. Meet the SWAT team. We have Jonathan Gosden, who is the principal of Monticello High School, Judy Holloway, who's a retired principal, Amy Bronson, who is the instructional facilitator, Holly McDonald, who's the English debate teacher, Stacy Reginelli, who is the English teacher and parent, Shalonda Matthews is the math teacher and also a parent. Angie Phillips is not pictured. She is the science teacher, biology specifically. Clarissa Pace is director of NAACP number 6042 and also a member of the city council. Clarence Brooks is a retired member of city council and member of Monticello community. And Sarah Stratton, who is a secondary literacy specialist. So what is the vision of Monticello High School? The vision of Monticello High School is to teach and inspire students to become lifelong learners and to instill the values necessary to become productive citizens. So the issue that I'm going to address at Monticello High School is diversity of education. Most of the time when we see the word diversity, we automatically think about race, but there's so many more elements to diversity that needs to be implemented with or in education. Diversity of education influences the performance of students and the expectations of teachers. Diversity of education reflects many categories such as race, gender, natural origin, language, sexual orientation, religion, socioeconomic status, and disabilities. It is prevalent among students, but needs to be acknowledged to efficiently instruct students. It changes the pedagogy used by teachers, the learning of students, and the morale of the school and community. And diversity in education will cause students to identify their strengths while learning and participating in their own education. Community resources and agencies needed. The churches of Monticello. The churches of Monticello are a great community resource. The churches of Monticello are diverse in religion and race, more specifically, and they are important in guiding young people and supporting schools. Monticello Police Department has influence within the community and the respect of many citizens of Monticello. They have been implementing race relation strategies to make their department more effective and less biased. The Boys and Girls Club of Monticello is a community organization that caters to the needs of young men and women. They inhabit students after school and even during the summer. They have resources to educate young people through activities and speakers with positivity. The NAACP branch number 6042 organization has been reformed in Monticello. They drive towards supporting multicultural rights of others. And this organization does not only support its members, or it doesn't only support Black people. The city of Monticello has the propensity to provide funds and events to support diversity within schools. This includes the city council and many businesses in Monticello. And the Arkansas Department of Education, the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission basically releases funds for diversity in the community within the state of Arkansas. The Monticello High School will ally with teachers and students to promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in their school. They will bridge together to become a force that pledges to make students feel safe, inclusive, and motivated to learn despite the pressures that exist in the world. It will be called the Billy Alliance. They will help students navigate through school and community by addressing problems or finding the right resource to address the issue. They will also be an asset to the SWAT team. So what is the plan for securing community resources? The first plan, action step 1, is meeting with the members of the SWOT analysis to discuss the vision and to create goals. The vision and the goals will be written down and collectively shared. Create a mission. The team will create a mission to identify the goal of creating diversity in the classroom and the community. It will define who this is for, why this is for them, and how they are going to accomplish it. Action step 3. The team will discuss core values so a shared vision is in place. This will define their commitment to the issue. Action step 4. Create a media packet and provide it to pivotal people within the community. So the team will create this media packet and provide it, but it will be brief with extremely specific in the vision and mission of diversity in education. And 5, the team will meet with students, staff, and Billy Alliance and other community members to explain the vision, mission, goals, and to invite support. Diversity in education has been research-based, and there is significant information that details the benefits of it. So what is the priority in learning? What are some of the benefits? It basically will create or has created or improved cognitive skills and critical thinking skills within students. The exposure to diversity helps students enter adulthood. It prepares students for citizenship, and it promotes their creativity. So the priority to students' learning is this. Since all students can learn, we must meet them where they are so they can feel safe and inclusive and learn effectively to become adults who are great decision makers and productive citizens. It also enhances students' learning and social skills. The indicators of equity. Diversity in education acknowledges the many differences visible in the classroom, resulting in equity and inclusion. When teaching with equity in mind, Students and teachers will thrive in the classroom when acknowledged and allowed to have their human experience treated with respect and fairness. They will be treated fairly while giving opportunities to advance. And how does diversity in education cause student achievement? It will cause students to have their own self-motivation. It will improve their grades. It will cause cultural engagement and citizenship. So, community resources and agencies justification. The churches of Monticello are influential in their role of guiding people to live consciously right. They provide great leaders that will be able to educate, motivate, and inspire youth, who a lot of them are our students, by their actions. The church will be a great source of information that will travel out into the community. Announcements are made weekly in church about community events or activities, and the church will encourage members to gather and engage. The Monticello Police Department. It will facilitate events at the school or other community venues, and they will also speak to teachers about the techniques that have been used to eliminate bias within their department. The Boys and Girls Club of Monticello will be a place basically that can provide mentoring, guidance, and inclusion. They also have the ability to, or they have funds that can be used to implement resources or strategies to cultivate the minds of students that are there after school or in the summer. And they present the opportunity of community speakers or leaders that can come speak to the kids to motivate them, to inspire them, or just as mentors to them. The NAACP number 6042, they can help facilitate issues or promote confidence. And they have a mission to promote talent, career, opportunity, competition, and scholarship for communities. They also have a youth chapter that is very active and available in our area. The City of Monticello. The City of Monticello will be one of the most valuable resources to diversity in education, is because they play a great role in the funding resource. They are able and willing to fund at most sometimes $50,000 for projects within the community. The vision and mission of diversity in education in schools and community would have to be pitched to them with validity and significance. And they will support it if they find that this is something that will bring about improvement within the community. This will help us to be able to fund the community picnic that will be held or that we are planning to hold in August every year before school starts. And last, the Arkansas Department of Education. The Arkansas Department of Education promotes education and acknowledges diversity within schools and community. There's a young man by the name of Deshaun Scarborough who was designated by Governor Hutchinson to use money from the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission to host Unity in the Community that was held in Monticello this past summer. There wasn't a big turnout, but I think if it were to be done again, and if we were to let the community know the basis of it and to use it to aid in diversity in education, in diversity, and for the diverse groups of people within our community to unite together on that specific day in the summer, I think it would be a great turnout that will, improve the school atmosphere also. So, fiscal, material, and technological resources. The fiscal would be the City of Monticello, the City Council, the Arkansas Department of Education, the Boys and Girls Club, and many businesses of Monticello to generate funds. These funds can be used for PD or teacher camps because teachers need PD over or in diversity in education. But also, the money can also fund entertainment, speakers, activities, food flyers for the community picnic that we are planning to have every year in August. And it can also may help the state, even though the state funds the unity in the community, whatever we can do to promote unity in the community that's held during the summer, that's hosted by Arkansas Department of Education. And last, the money can be used to offer incentives for hiring diversely within the school district. As far as material, the materials that need to be purchased are the community billboard, yard signs, and pillable stickers. So the community billboard will be used to display a poster representing diversity within the community. Members of the community will be able to purchase yard signs that can be bought from clubs within the schools to advocate diversity. And infographics and flyers will be distributed at different events that are held uh, in the community of Monticello, and fundraisers are held for diversity in education. These businesses will be asked, also businesses in Monticello will be asked to use the pillable stickers to maybe put on their windows to say, hey, we support diversity in education, which means diversity within our community. Everyone is welcome, everyone is safe, everyone is included. The technological resources that are needed would be to update the web page. So the web page can show support for diversity in education, for the students to create a video package of many different clips of many different things that Monticello School District is trying to do to show that diversity in education, which identifies with equity and inclusiveness, this is something that we support at our school and within our community. Also, this is something that can be played on the Billy's channel that's on YouTube, and also on the different social media accounts that Monticello School District has. So the Monticello School District can basically redesign the home page or have some type of signage that is displayed to support diversity in education. And basically, this is imperative because it's going to gain alliance in the community on this issue. Also, another technological resource would be the Chromebooks, for students to also have that signage on their Chromebooks when they open their Chromebooks to do their work. It's just something that is representative of who we are and what we support. So, what is the plan to obtain these physical, material, technological resources? Action step one, basically, the SWAT team will meet to be specific about the resources needed to effectively drive this effort. There's going to be a list of resources that will be drafted with a list of community resources or agencies that are going to aid support for it. Each team member will put the resources in groups based on priority and funding, and each SWAT team member will be assigned to a specific community resource or agency to pitch the need for support to that community resource or agency. Action step two, team members will meet with the community resource agencies to advocate needs of resources and any requirements the community resources or agencies might have. Such they might want to know more about school information, future endeavors, numbers, the budgets at our school, deadlines, schedule, prices, etc. Whatever they are needing to help us, or their interest or how they invest in us is very important. The team will decide on meet and decide on the media designs that are going to go on the billboard and the yard signs, and even the pillable stickers. These media designs will be picked by students, teachers, and even people in the community. And we're going to choose the most requested design or two to be shown. Action step three, the SWAT team will search for professional development sessions and or team building experience or activities that could be used to help support their teachers. Action step 4, the SWAT team will check in with the community resources agencies frequently to modify or confirm resources to be purchased. They will also find vendors to make these signs and billboards after they come up with a design that they've chosen. And they will also design video. They will also design the video and what they want to include in the packet, and find students who want to participate in it. The principal will basically keep the social media pages updated. He's in charge of that. He can add information about diversity and education as events, information, speakers, or activities come about. This will be done once or twice a month. And action step 6, different clubs of the high school will sell stickers and yard signs, and Billy's of Alliance will help the journalism department with the video by continue to offering goals and ideas. So that video can be played on the Billy's channel. So now the fiscal, material, technological justification. There will be events that will take place within the community that need supplies, such as food, speakers, resources, activities. And also, teachers can utilize money for professional development to certify their self-awareness and diversity training, and programs to help teachers collaborate and trust one another. The billboard is important to have because it will be able to be seen by all citizens of Monticello as they drive by, and it should depict the inclusiveness of diversity within the community. The placement of the yard signs would signify support from the community. And every time patrons visit businesses, they will be able to see the stickers. Some might even question what they mean, so they themselves can support. The technological resource is important because it will validate the vision, such as the web page. Anytime someone visits Monticello School District's webpage, they will see that signage there, especially if they are someone who are of a different race, gender, socioeconomic level, disabilities. They would know, hey, this school district welcomes me. I will feel safe and inclusive here. The Chromebooks, it's just a way for students to be remember every day that, hey, this right here is a safe place. Our school is a safe place. Everybody is welcome. Learning is being encouraged. And the social media pages. This is important because it will give us a link to the community to basically keep them updated on what is happening within the district. Also, it may allow by the community being updated, it will basically allow them to have or show physical support, financial support, or basically just engagement in the activities or the events that are happening within the school. The community needs to stay updated and be able to participate in whatever's going on in the school. They are our biggest advocates. So the laws, policies impacting or impacted by the plan. There are laws and policies. Well, let's talk about law and policy. Policies are basically an attempt to address a public problem, while laws are state and federal statutes enacted by legislature. And sometimes our school policies are based on law. So there is the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that basically prohibits discrimination based on race, color, religion, natural origin, in all programs or activities receiving federal funding. The Equal Education Opportunities Act of 1974, which is a federal law of the United States that all children enrolled in public schools are entitled to equal educational opportunity without regard to race, color, sex, or natural origin. The Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972 states no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in or be denied the benefits of or subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act is a law that makes available free, appropriate public education to eligible children with disabilities throughout the nation and ensures special education and related services to those children. And the House Bill 1218 of the Arkansas Legislature is an act concerning courses, classes, events, and activities within programs of instruction at public schools. It basically to prohibit the offering of certain types of courses, classes, events, and activities that will isolate students based on race, gender, political affiliation, social class, or other distinctions within programs of instruction. So these are the different laws that basically support diversity in education. The major goals of this plan are all students will feel safe, inclusive, and become successful while having their human experience in their community. All students will benefit academically, socially, and emotionally in response to diversity in education and become productive adults. And the school and community relationships will become continuous, positive, and harmonious for years to come. So, the project objectives, short-term objectives, long-term objectives. The short-term objectives are the SWAT team will form trusting relationships with business owners, banks, and directors of organizations. The team will search and designate speakers for different events for the school or community events to educate, motivate, inspire, and promote students within their circumstances. The Diversity of Alliance, Billy's Alliance group will speak to businesses, school board, churches, and organizations about their goal of diversity within their school. Infographics and flyers will be passed out explaining the initiative of unity by way of diversity in education. Teachers should devise strategies to become culturally responsive educators to relate to students and improve their academic performance. The SWAT team and Billy Alliance should decide on signage to reflect diversity of education to put on billboards, social media, and school webpage. Long-term objectives. The City of Monticello, the Boys and Girls Club, and churches will let this initiative of diversity in education become a priority in their agenda to benefit the community. Programs will continue to be created in school and community that will always address and acknowledge the needs of students. The schools and communities in Monticello will be cohesive in their communication with one another. There will be an increase in diversity in pre-AP and AP classes. Demographics in classes should reflect demographics in building. Hire diversely. And plan community picnic event successfully to happen every August. So some short-term strategies. The clubs of Monticello High School will sell yard signs, pillable stickers, and accept any donations for the community billboard. Teachers will have professional development that addresses diversity and self-awareness. The SWAT team and Billy Alliance will address issues that need to be discussed to find influential and aspiring speakers. The SWAT team and Billy Alliance will start giving input to the annual Unity in the Community that's hosted by Arkansas Department of Education, planned during the summer to improve the attendance of all Monticello residents. Even though it's hosted through the Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, it is for all residents. It's for unity, which includes diversity within the community for all to be brought together. The school will motivate and advocate for students to join clubs and activities to promote diversity and inclusiveness. And the SWAT team and Billy Alliance will be able to host a successful community picnic in August to promote diversity and inclusiveness for the community. Long-term key strategies. Regular collaboration with teachers and school leaders to address the needs of all students. The teams will continually strive to be creative, innovative, productive, and unified to to promote safe, inclusive environments, and the diversity of teachers will reflect the diversity of students. Different teachers will become a part of the Billy Alliance yearly to help promote diversity and ideas in the classroom, school, and community. And the perspective of the community can and will be considered in the decisions that support diversity and school improvement. The resulting outcome of this plan is to create environments where students who are diversely different can feel safe and learn effectively. For teachers to become acquainted and accepting of their students. Diversity in education will become a commonplace for school leaders, teachers, students, and the community. The community and schools will develop productive relationships that involve communication, commitment, engagement, input, and feedback. The community can rely on social media, websites, parent-teacher conferences, and from participating in community events to be updated on school business, will be updated on school business, climate, and culture. And this initiative is to evoke diversity in education that will be effectively implemented so there will be a resolve even in parental involvement in at-risk students within the school. Remember that people are less likely to tear down a fence that they help build. Because diversity in education is such a significant or easy issue to fix, it just takes being educated about it. Being educated, being self-aware, and being accepting of others. And as far as teachers learning to teach students based on where they are, getting to know their students and being able to teach them effectively based on where they are. So remember, we have the ability to be diverse, but we also have the ability to be unified. And if it carries on, if it starts in our school, it will carry on throughout our community. Thank you.